good for my video. Is it okay? Is it okay with you? Okay. It's in me a vacuum, sorry. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I didn't for today's video I don't really have a vlog for you all, so I thought that I would just sit down, do a little crochet, and chat with you all, because most of my vlogs are just me sitting and yapping with you. So, oh, this isn't meant to be in there. Okay, put it back. Okay, before we get into the chatting, you can see this is the start. I'm trying to make like a bag or like a sleeve of some sort to bring. It's a bag, just like a small little bag that I can bring to like a bookshop or like this like Ulta or something, where I'm just buying a few small things because I only really have big bags. So if I have a nice small bag, those will be nice for those days where I just have a few small things to pick up. So you can see this is the start of that. I'm thinking, you can see I have little stitch markers. These are every 5. So I've been going 5, seeing how much I like it. So I've done, well, it's not 5, it's 10. Apologies, that's the wrong stitch pattern. Every 10 rows I put a stitch marker. So I've done 30 so far, and this is as big as it is. I think it's roughly 15, probably closer to 20 inches at this point. So I'm thinking I need some more. I do 10 rows and then I kind of assess the size. So this is going to be one side of it. I'm going to need to make another side and some handles. And I haven't decided if I want to make like panels or if I just want to stitch it together, like the 2 sides together. I haven't decided. I'm leaning more towards like the panels. So yeah. I have my little crochet kit. I think I've shown it before. But yeah. What? It has a little measure tape. I can measure. Oh, that's the centimeter side. Oh. It's almost. It's 8.5. That's how long it is. Okay. I was very off. Alright. This stitch marker is I use when I take a break in my stitches, so I don't have to worry about it unraveling on me. Okay. Can you see me? Yes. So, what has happened since the last video? Not anything dramatic, thankfully. A lot of small things. We just did a college tour yesterday for Audrey, my little sister. She is a senior in high school, so it's time to go and do some college tours, see where she wants to go. And she seemed to really enjoy it. It was a smaller college, which I think she likes. The disability services seemed to be good. Upon a first meeting, But of course, that's just a first impression. We'll see as things progress how they go. But after the college tour, we did a little shopping, and I got some new, oh, it's open, compression packing cubes, because I have some that I love and I use, but I only have one size of each. So I have like a small one that are about the same size as the ones I just held up, a small one and a big one, and they work very well, except when I need two of the bigger sized ones, I don't have enough room. Well, I only have one of the bigger ones, so I don't have the ability to use them, and I end up going with one of my non-compression ones. So I've been wanting, my yarn fell, another at least one of the bigger sizes, and that little 2-pack was $10 at TJ's, so I decided to pick it up. Another thing I've been doing is Ulta released their holiday sets, and they had a perfume sample set. And I decided to pick it up to try it for a few reasons. One, I have been wanting to get more into perfumes and scents and stuff. Now that, okay, I have to explain it because I don't think I've talked about this. But basically, before I started working on my MCAS and stuff, any scented anything made me very itchy, so we had to go like unscented detergent, unscented body wash, unscented everything to make sure that I wouldn't react to it. But now that that is much more under control, it's not to the point where I'm have no meds, but it is much more under control than it was. I can wear perfumes and like a scented lotion and things like that. So I've been getting into that world, I guess is the best way to put it, and finding different scents that I like. Like, I know I love vanilla. I love smelling like a baked good. That's me. But I've never really tried anything else because that's what I did when I was younger. So I thought this perfume set would be fun as a way to get exposure to, you know, a bunch of different scents and try and figure out what I like and what I don't. So like, I have the Billie Eilish perfume, which I love, which is great, but I don't know, I want to have maybe a few that I like, that I can like switch between and stuff. So I've been putting on a perfume a day, and to be clear, I've only worn 3 because I got it this weekend and it's Wednesday. So haven't tried them all. I've tried the new one, the Kylie Cosmetics one, which was a little flowery for me. I'm not a big fan of flowery scents. They kind of give me a headache. And that one was pretty floral for me, a little much, so I don't think I'll be reaching for that one super often. I've just been like picking them out at random. I don't really have a preference. I did, oh, what was it? It was a Prada one, I think. Or is that today's? No, today's was the Prada one. So what was the other one? Okay, now I have to stop and look. I didn't want to get up, but now I have to stop and look. Okay, hold on. This is the bag it comes in, by the way. It's the silvery one. Also, the Billie Eilish one comes in it, but because I already wear it, I just kind of took it out of its packaging. Because I already know I like this one. So I did the Kylie Jenner Cosmetics one, which is a little flowery, like I said. I did this one. It says, I can't read it. It's Flower Bomb. Is that the one I did? Yeah. This one is Flower Bomb by Victor and Wolf. This one, I actually... Okay, that one was more, I liked it more than I originally thought I would. It started off a little floral, but once it dried down, it smelled like licorice, which I'm not totally opposed to. But it was just kind of like, I didn't expect that. And this is Paradox by Prada. This is the one I tried on today. I liked it at first, when it first came out. It was very fruity, very sweet. I liked it. But now that it's dried down, it's much more floral, which again, isn't really my vibe. So if I had to put them in an order so far, Billie is still my favorite. Then the licoricey Flower Bomb. Then the Paradox Prada one, and then the Kylie. This is my order. Oh, I should keep these in an order. Yeah. Don't mind me, I'm lining up the little perfume samples on my bookcase. You can see here they are, so that I know the order that they're in. So as I try them, I can kind of rank them and see which ones I like over others. So you smell it? Yeah, it's still there. It's been almost 6 hours and it's still, I mean, it's pretty weak, so it's not going to be there much longer. But it still has a bit of a smell. That's not bad. So yeah, that's been exciting. Just like a fun little thing for me to do. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know what to call it, except like maybe like a temporary hobby. It's one of those things where I get fascinated and excited to learn about it. Like, what do I like? What do I don't? And then in the end, I'll have my answer and I can just kind of move forward with it. And I don't need to keep buying samples unless I want to, obviously. But I liked this sample set. I was looking at some at Sephora because they had come out. That was loud. The sample perfume sets at Sephora had come out, and they had one that was specifically just vanilla scents, which I was really interested in. But Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty was going on, so I had a feeling that they were holding out on their holiday stuff or sets and whatever until afterward. So I told myself, you know, this is really cool and definitely something I would be interested in, but I want to wait and see what Ulta comes out with to kind of make my final decision. and the vanilla one, which is the only one I really wanted to try, was $35 for about 6 samples, and this one from Ulta was $40 for 14. So over double the amount of product for just an extra $5 was way more worth it to me. So that's what I did. Also, I'm interested, down in the comments, please let me know what you think of Sephora, because I have thoughts. And this could entirely be okay. So I live in Maine, in case you're new and you didn't know, and the only Sephora store, like standalone store, is in Portland, which for me is a 2-hour drive, roughly. And the only other Sephora store, it's not a standalone store, it was in the JCPenney in Bangor, which is more like an hour. But either way, I would have to drive quite a bit to get to a Sephora. Now they are in Kohl's, and there's a Kohl's much closer to me. So the first time I had a time where I could just pop into Sephora and grab something has been quite recently, since they put the Sephora's in Kohl's. So that's really been my first exposure to Sephora, truly. And I don't know, to me, it could be the fact that I didn't grow up with the Sephora being the place to go. For me, it was always Ulta, because there's an Ulta about a 45-minute drive. And although that might not seem all that different from an hour, it's in Augusta, which is like the capital. In case you didn't know. But we, as a family, we like to go out shopping, and ever since my wheat allergy, I've had to go further and further away from where I live to find food. And Augusta is one of those towns that has a lot of food that I can eat. So we go there almost once a week. So going to Ulta was just very easy for me when I needed something. So that was my go-to beauty store for a very long time. And then when I finally got the Sephora that I could go to, it was just very underwhelming. I don't know. Or maybe overwhelming. Maybe it was very overwhelming. Like going in and seeing this new product that I thought was really fun, and then seeing the price tag. Certainly a shock. So I had made the decision when I found out that the Sephora was now in Kohl's, because it's only been there for maybe 2 years, a year, 2 years. It hasn't been very long. And I had a Sephora account. And I had been like, oh, there's this Sephora here now. I'm going to use it so much. I'm going to gain all these points. It's going to be great. But when I can go to an Ulta and get a drugstore concealer for half the price of a concealer in Sephora, and it works just as well, I could not justify it. So I had decided to get rid of my Beauty Insider account. Because again, I also really like Ulta's point system better. I think it works better. You can get more points. They have a lot more point multiplier deals that you can do. They don't expire super often, so it doesn't take super long to... Well, you don't have to worry about your points expiring. like after like a month or something, which is great because you can really stack them up until they need to expire, and then you can justify a bigger purchase. Like right now I'm saving up my points. I don't really have a specific product in mind, but when I get to a point where I need to use my points because they're going to expire, I can either buy a few different things to use the points, or I can buy one big thing and use my points on that, like a perfume or something, which, I don't know, makes me want to use Ulta more, especially now that Ultas are in Target, which I need to look up how to, like, if I buy like a beauty product at Target, if I can get Ulta points for it. I need to figure that out. That's more of a reminder for me. Don't mind that. But yeah. Yeah, needless to say, I am not the biggest fan of Sephora. It could be that I'm just not used to Sephora's because of where I've grown up. Or maybe it's just, I don't know, I just don't like them. They make me scared. Like I don't belong. But I don't know, let me know what you think of Sephora's in the comments. If you have any thoughts. Because I would be very interested to know, especially after, like, people coming out and saying, like, all the younger kids coming in, destroying the Sephora's, which breaks my heart to know that, like, these workers who are being paid minimum wage or maybe over minimum wage, I don't know how much Sephora employees make, but aren't making like a buttload of money, I'm sure, have to go in and clean up after these kids that don't know how to respect that space. It just makes me kind of bummed. Also, the amount of brands that were Sephora exclusive that are now in Ulta, like Ilia's now in Ulta. Like, are you kidding? I would love to try an Ilia product, and I can get Ulta rewards points for it. I'm excited. Also, Ulta's sales are way better than Sephora's. And I don't know, maybe it's because they have higher priced goods or higher priced products that having certain sales doesn't work. Or maybe it's Sephora's choice to make them seem like a luxury brand, even though it's just Sephora. Like, I don't know, I like Ulta more, so whenever I see people online talking about Sephora stuff, unless it's a Sephora exclusive, I try and wait and see what Ulta comes out with. So, getting back to the perfumes finally. Yeah, I wanted to wait and see what Ulta came out with for their perfume set for winter, and I got one more variety, which I was really excited about, and it was a better price for me. So yeah, I am an Ulta girly through and through. And yeah. How long has it been? Wow. It has almost been 30 minutes and I only did 2 rows. I think that proves that I've been yapping, because usually in 30 minutes I can get 4 or 5 done. But you know, I was talking to you guys, and this was very important. But I don't want this video to be going on for freaking ever. So I'm going to call this video here. Let me put my stitch in. Where did it go? Oh, it fell. My little stitch marker. I don't know if anybody else does this. This is just something I started doing. I take my hook out of the loop that I'm using. I put a stitch marker in it. And then I go down the row, like 1 or 2 stitches. And I lock it. So now the loop is in, so I don't need to worry about like the stitch falling out and like unraveling my entire project. Also, whatever hook I'm using for the project, I put it in upside down so I don't forget which size I'm using. But yeah. I only added 2 rows so it doesn't look a whole lot different. But I don't want this video to be too long. I also probably am not gonna edit it very much. So who knows, this might have just like a short little intro and a short little outro. And I just leave it up the way that it is. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I almost said vlog, this is not a vlog. I hope you enjoyed. I completely forgot my outro. I have not picked up a camera since the day of my life. So I'm a little rusty. But I am. If you're watching this during the first hour, this video is live. I am in the comments replying to anything and everything that you put, so feel free to say hi, comment about the Sephora, or comment about whatever you want. Please like and subscribe while you're down there as well. It really helps me out. On screen now are my social media handles if you would like to follow me to see more day-to-day things that I get up to. And with that, I will see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!